Welcome back to the fan club, everybody. The fan club of divorced middle-aged women. I thought, let's just do another story time while I organize this room / fold some laundry. I have recently moved into this house / apartment. I still have not unpacked my crap. Of course, I still go back and forth to my boyfriend's house, so I live out of a tote bag. Which I thought would be a great story time today. My story time of dating as a divorced woman. But spoiler alert, I was not divorced. So, yeah, I mean, I was not divorced, but I realized that this divorce was going to take a really long time. And I was open about that when I began the dating, which I'll tell you as we get there was a very quick, fast and furious experience. But I figured, at this point, my husband had, proposed. He proposed to his girlfriend. So she is now a fiance. And like I said a couple videos back, if you don't find the humor in your most ridiculous situation, I don't know how one survives it. I started telling people, like, I never knew how to refer to my ex-husband. I would be like, because he wasn't my ex-husband. I was like, my soon-to-be ex. It turns out, I found out by being on divorce Facebook groups that people did use STBX, like the acronym, and it meant soon-to-be ex. I'm like, oh, okay, that's a thing people use. I would say that, and it was just very cumbersome. Anyway, when my husband got engaged, I enjoyed saying, I mean, obviously not to just any old Joe Schmo. I'm not going to, like, this story sounds really ridiculous and trashy, but I would say, like, yeah, my husband's fiance. And, and everyone's like, wait, what? Like, yeah. Like, so he was engaged. So I figured dating was like the least of our problems, right? Me just dating. And I wasn't in the market to date. But after, a few beers one night and freaking Facebook pushing Facebook dating on me, like they must have known I was not in a good way. Like I never changed a status on Facebook because again, I'm not like that kind of a person to be like, we're not married, or whatever, single. Like I didn't do any of that. So I don't know how Facebook knew, except it did. And it kept pushing Facebook dating, Facebook dating. I was like, I don't want to date. I live at my mother's, right? I'm a middle-aged woman living at her mother's. I might have even been in between jobs because, quite honestly, I'm always in between jobs. So that doesn't sound great either. Trying to figure out my career, trying to figure out my life. I was like, no, this is not a time that you date, right? But like I said, had a few beers one night. I create a Facebook dating profile. I had never created a dating profile in my life. And I answer I put up the things you put up. I put up some photos and then Facebook was like, here are some prompts that you can, I'm sorry if my underwear is in the frame. I'm going to just throw it over there. Here, they had some prompts that you could fill out. So it was, I don't know, people can get to know you. And I was like, yes, because I needed serious help because I just did not know all the things to say or what I wanted to say. So anyway, I filled out silly prompts like, what are your 3 favorite foods? Which I had written bacon, broccoli, and then butter. Okay. I was not taking this very seriously. So it says that. But I did say things like, it was actually kind of fun because I was like, oh, you know what? You're shopping for somebody. You may as well just say the things that you want and say the things you don't want. So I was like, guys, if your idea of a good time, like on a weekend, you decompress, like watching sports on a big TV, like I go, then we're not a match. Like, that's fine if you want to do that, obviously. But I hate sports and I really hate sports on TV. So, more underwear. So anyway, I filled that out and it goes live. Oh my God, my touching microfiber, my little Norwex guys, makes my skin crawl. I don't like touching it. My hands are so dry. Anyway, so it goes live, and it's like an immediate matching or immediate messages from men, and I'm getting the gamut. Clearly, people haven't read your stuff. They're all over the place. You put in parameters for age and location. I have since learned that they don't fucking care. They just match you up all willy-nilly. Or anyone who wants to message you can, obviously, and do. And it was just, I couldn't believe the things. It was so overwhelming. And I was like, oh. And I was like, I don't even want this, that I just shut down and I deleted it. Same night, same hour. And Facebook's like, you can just put it on pause or hold. And I was like, no, delete everything. And it's like, okay. And they even warned me, you won't be able to create a new account for 7 days. And I was like, good, I don't care. Delete. So it was deleted. The end. That was the end. I was like, oh my God, I told people that was crazy. I was inundated with messages. I have since learned that yes, men, the prospects for women are plenty. I mean, no, I wouldn't say they're plenty. I will just say you just get reached out to a million times. The men, it's like crickets. Women are not writing to the men. You just wait for them to. What's in my pocket? Wait for them to write to you. Anyway, about a week later, again, I'm having a few drinks and it's late, and I'm like, you know what? I'm going to try that again. my 7-day waiting is, and I'm like, I don't want to date. I'm feeling like a bit of a loser. I'm divorced with a husband, but not, I'm in the middle of a divorce with a husband who has a fiance, living at my mother's in between jobs. I'm not a catch. But beer got the best of me and I created the account. I filled out what I could remember writing before, yada, yada, wrote the same things. Okay. That same night, I'm getting messages again, and I'm like, okay, I'm trying to, and I'm screenshotting like the best of the best, which is the worst of the worst, because so I can share with friends and stuff, because it was really unbelievable. The people what they were saying, it was crazy. I still have them on my phone somewhere. So anyway, I'm like seeing a couple, like, okay, like this is okay. Maybe I'll write to this one guy, and like I will reach out and write things. And then there's a couple messages and I start talking to this one guy. And I have literally, once I'm like talking with one person, I'm already like, I could never be a serial dater because I'm a one person at a time person. Like, okay, I'm going to talk with you. I cannot even entertain other messages right now because it's too much. And everyone's kind of putting on their best self, and it's kind of fun and exciting, and yeah, this guy, we kind of hit it off. Oh no, I don't like why this is in a bag feeling damp. This feels like it's from my swim bag, and I'm scared. Yeah, okay, this is swim stuff that never got washed and now might be moldy. Okay, put that in the laundry. Sorry, distracted. What was I saying? Oh yeah, we're hitting it off, right? And he actually, I think his first line to me was, "Hi Jess, I don't watch sports on TV." That's like, sold. The bar is low. Just kidding. But yeah, so I was like, that's great. And we're chatting a bit, and then he's like, hey, it's easier. Here's my phone number if we want to text instead. And I was like, oh, red flag. You're supposed to stay on the platform, right? To like, for safety reasons, then you're not sharing a phone number. But, I feel like I'm a good read on whether someone's a wackadoo or not. I mean, case in point, I didn't realize my husband or husband at the time, is a wackadoo. So point taken. However, I do believe something has happened to him where that has turned drastically. Anywho, we take it to text. We're texting, and he's got 3 kids. You know, I really did not expect to find somebody who was in the kid thing. But he was like, yeah, I got a lot of like rejections because I have kids. So if that's a thing, you know, I have 3 kids. I have them every other week for full time. And if that's a problem, and I was like, of course not. Like, I'm not going to ever say kids are a problem. I'm good with kids. I mean, they are like preteen and 2 teens. So I'm like, that's a little bit different for me. But I'm like, you know, that's fine. That's fine. Because we're hitting it off, right? So much so that we're like, hey, when are you free? Want to get together? Yeah, sure. Well, I'm going to be in this area tomorrow. I can be in that area tomorrow. I want to meet up for like a coffee / tea, because I don't drink coffee, and go out to dinner. So this happens really fast. And so we make this plan for I think the very next day. And I was picking up my oldest from the marital home to go, because he was trapped there without a car, because he had broken his ankle and he couldn't drive. So I felt so bad for this kid over there that I'd pick him up as often as I could and take him out, and we'd go on his crutches or his knee scooter. Like, we go antiquing and go out to lunch and, I don't know, buy him little things that he needed. This is dirty. So I was like, that day I'm out with my son and we're going to meet, me and this guy, we're going to meet up later. And I was like, we end up texting, and I was like, yeah, I'm in this area, but I have to go all the way back home first to, like, I don't know, shower, change, like look a little more date ready. I'm like, so that's going to take this long. We're negotiating time. And he's like, well, I said, I'm just in like a hat and a hoodie. And he's like, well, that doesn't bother me if it doesn't bother you. And then I have less driving, and we can meet up at this time. I'm like, okay. I'm literally wearing like what I normally wear, like big oversized hoodie, a bright orange hat. Was it Tractor Supply? I can't remember. An orange hat and Carhartt maybe. Yeah. And I mean, I guess that was good, because that is literally what I wear every day of my life. So this is what you're getting. And we met in a parking lot. So next red flag is I'm driving my minivan, right? And he's driving this big, huge truck. And I don't know cars, and I don't care about cars, and I'm not impressed by cars. And apparently I learned this much later. Minivans are the uncoolest thing, I've been told, and he can't believe it. But I'm like, I guess he overlooked that, because he did not make fun of my minivan so much that first day or first few weeks, until I finally learned that, yeah, I'm not very cool. So we meet in a parking lot, and because we're going to then go to the coffee shop and then food after that. And he's like, well, do you want to go in one car? So we have one car. And I'm like, this is another red flag. You're not supposed to get in a stranger's car right when you meet him on a dating app. But again, I'm like, okay, we did do he's like, do you hug? Yeah, we did a little hug. He's tall. And I was like, yeah, I'm going to get in his truck. I had given 2 friends. I didn't tell my mother, because she would be freaking out. But I did tell 2 friends. I shared my location. We scoured this guy on the internet. He said he was, he does this and that. We looked it up. We found it. It was legit. And I felt good about it. As good as one can feel. I mean, these days I watch so much true crime, and people are cuckoo crazy out there that probably wasn't the best idea to do. But I did it. Got in his car. We went to the coffee shop, and we're chatting in the car, as we do already. And he's kind of like, we're bantering. We're having a good banter, which we did online as well. And he's like, oh, this is fun. Like this, I like this thing that we have, like jokey. I'm like, okay, good. Because this is what I do. And if this is what you do, that's good. Anyway, we went to a bookstore, had a tea, very tepid tea. And I did use that word tepid. It turns out I use a lot of big words, according to him. And to this day, he's still like, you use big words. He doesn't know what I mean. I have to be a thesaurus as well. Tell him, oh, these pants make my fingers crawl as well. Ugh. We had tea. We talked nonstop. It was like an immediate mutual attraction. Then we went out for sushi. I never have sushi. Well, I've had like fake sushi where it's like vegetable stuff, and I like that. And we had sushi, but it was the cooked kind. Something new, different. We had a great date. We we closed down that part of the restaurant. They were like, "Are you all done? You want anything else?" Because it's like time to go. I think only the bar was open, and then we were like, yeah, okay, we'll head out. We've been talking forever. We told our divorce stories. Mine was, divorce in progress, which he knew. I was very open about that, like I said, on the app, because I want people to know, like, hey, I'm actually not divorced, but I realize it's going to take 10 years. And so if you don't care for that, then don't write to me. Anyway, he did not care. We told our stories, all good. Then after that, we drive back to our location where, my car was parked, and it was like a rainy night at this point, but we're both not eager for the night to end. So we talk in the truck for a long time. And if like big trucks, it's like there's no bench seats anymore, and there's big center console that's like separating us. We're pretty far. Like it's hard to you can't get close. It's not easy to get close. And it was really, I have to say, it was quite a magical night with the rain on the roof, in the car. And finally, I don't know how we end up, him edging closer, asks if he can kiss me. And I was like, yes. And I don't know what I was expecting. I was expecting an okay kiss, or because it's very awkward with the twisting and the reaching, leaning. But this kiss was really good. Really fucking good. The best kiss, with the best lips, with the best everything. And that was very nice. And he's like, that was very nice. Can we kiss some more? And then we did. We kissed some more, and nobody wanted this night to end. We stayed. I didn't tell my mother where I was. I sound ridiculous. I'm 50 years old. I was 49 when I met him. But I mean, I wouldn't tell her if I was not coming home or coming home late, but I was like, oh, this is extra late. She's going to wonder where the hell I am. Because at this point, I hadn't been living in her house very long to establish my comings and goings and what's normal and what's not. But anyway, let's just say we had a makeout session in the truck, and we kept saying we got to go. To think about that night now, it must have been a Saturday. Was it a Saturday night? Because there's no way, if he had worked tomorrow, he would have not been able to do that. And it must have been a Saturday night, or maybe a Friday night. I don't know. It doesn't matter. All that to say, the very first guy that I message on Facebook dating, or he messages me, is the guy. And he had been on for a good bit, and he had gone on a handful of dates, and oh my God, he's got some good stories. I'd love to tell his stories. They're his, not mine, but I'm fascinated, because now I didn't have any of those kind of stories, because the very first guy that, knocks on my door, I'm like, yeah, let's go for it. So much so that, I'm like, oh, okay, I've got to mute at least my Facebook dating, because I'm like I said, I'm not a multiple dater. I am a one at a timer, and I did not care to entertain anybody else. I was head over heels. And I think I actually just deleted mine, and he was a little bit more cautious, not because of anything that gave him red flags, but I think because he had been on dates and I had not, and he just was afraid to lose his profile, I guess. Ugh, this is another shirt, hurts my fingers. Athletic wear. But eventually, and not even very long, he's like, I deleted my whole thing. I was like, well, I took screenshots of all of ours, because I just thought I'd take it for posterity's sake. One day it'd be cute to look at and our conversation, so that wouldn't be gone forever. I still have it in my photos. That was it, guys. That's my dating story. I dated one person, and now it's been a year and a half We just had a year and a half, like a couple weeks ago. And oh, I do have a funny side story with this is I have a stepbrother who has been on all the dating apps for like years and Facebook dating and all the other ones. But he did the same thing. And he's like, you see the same people. So I'm like, and why not do Facebook dating? Because it's free. Anyway, I didn't see it because my brother-in-law, I mean, not my brother-in-law, my stepbrother saw it before I ever did, but like we were matched. He sees me on, because then was I out? I think I was out with my son one day, like on another day, like, you know, I picked him up and we're out at Chick-fil-A and I get a message from my stepbrother saying like, when I just matched with you or on Facebook dating. And I was like, ew, his name is David. So I feel like it's a, you know, Schitt's Creek reference. I'm like, ew, David, like you better swipe left or whatever, which is not a thing on Facebook dating, but you know. And he's like, oh, how's it going? And I'm like, great, I found some guy at my first date and blah, blah. And he's like, are you fucking kidding me? I've been doing this for however many years. And he gets nobody. I'm like, well, David, maybe you need to change a few things. But also, one of my go-to pairs of jeans is now ripped in the thigh. Thank you very much. I think these are just done. Sad. I should just throw them away. But what I will do is hang on to it for another year or two before I'm ready to do that. That is my dating story, guys. I don't have any horror stories. Excuse me if I just muffled the mic. It was great. We were what's the word? Infatuated. It was quite a wild, fast ride at the very beginning. And I was like, oh boy, is this another red flag? And our big joke for a while was, is he going to like be an axe murderer and at some point chop me up into little pieces? He still has not. He's had many opportunities. I am still here in full body. And that is my dating story. Like I said, again, if you have horror stories, I am sorry. Would I like to hear them? Yes. So that's it. That's my story, guys. Let's drop yours in the comments. Again, maybe I'll just pre-create a Facebook group so that we can filter people there at the beginning. And then later, if we want to move to a different platform, we can, just somewhere that's ready to go. I don't want to be doing it backwards where all of a sudden it's like we all want to talk and we don't have it set up yet. This way we can just like trickle in and get a good group going. So thanks for watching me fold, organize. I did get some good stuff done. Maybe I can finally move into this room and stop living out of my tote bag. Goodbye, fan club, and I'll see you in the next story time.